Hey everyone. So today's composite is going to be this Christmas magical theme I had set up for my daughter. I've always done these really cool composites for my oldest 7-year-old, and I didn't really have any fun ones with my 5-year-old, so I drug her out one day. I was back mid-December, and I had these beautiful dresses from Doll Cake, and I had to do something with it. And so this is what I came up with, and it was a really quick, like 15-minute shoot, and she was happy. It was fun though, and my husband helped out too. Okay, so like I said, the dress is from Doll Cake. That's just a Target denim jacket. This bouquet, the Christmas bouquet, that is from, who is that from? Elise Bear on Etsy. And then the bear right here, this is from Dare to Dream Studios. And I'm just shutting my phone off. There we go. Okay, so let me get this out of the way and open Photoshop back up. Here we go. So this is the original image. And so first things first is what I'm going to do is grab my crop tool and I'm going to extend this out. Just a little bit more. I think that's good. Okay, and so from here, I'm going to grab the quick selection tool. I'm going to make a copy of this grass right here. I'm not too worried about her dress because that's just going to get erased. So I'm going to do Control C, Control V. And I'm just dragging it over. And I'm going to put a layer mask on there and grab a brush. This is a soft white brush. I'm going to get rid of this jagged line. Now what I did earlier, and I'm going to do that here, is I'm going to grab my Marquee Tool. I'm going to come right here. And I'm going to do Content Aware. And it's going to look funky, and I'm going to fix it. I'm going to add in some other elements as well. So I'll do Control D to get rid of those lines. See, this is just really odd, but what I'm going to do is back over here to my quick selection tool. Actually, no, I take that back. What I want to use is this. This is a set of trees. I took off another image, and I have this saved in a folder just for this purpose, just to fill in, because this wall on the original image, this is always here, and they're doing construction back here, and so sometimes there's mounds of dirt or this exposed wall, and this is actually just a pathway for them to get back to where they're doing construction. And so I just have to make it pretty. Now this piece though, I'm going to use it both off to the left and the right. So first I'm going to do left. And I'm just going to drag this down. And that's going to have a layer mask. And I'm going to bring this one over here again. Right click. That's what I'm going to do. I'm right click and then I'm going to flip horizontal. That's exactly how I want it. And I'm just going to drag it down. I'm going to put a layer mask on there, and I'm going to start fixing this now. So we'll start right here at layer 2 with these trees. And I'm using a soft white brush, and I'm just going to take this out. And I'm going to come over here to the next layer of trees, take care of that. I wanted to bring the grass from down here at the bottom. I just brought that right above the background copy so I can have better control over this right here. Okay, so I need my brush again. Okay, I'm happy with how this looks. So what I'm going to do is layer to merge. And I'm going to start on some details on her. And I'm going to go File to, or I'm sorry, not File, Filter to Liquify. And I'm going to start at her dress. It's not going to be too much. I'm just going to subtly pump out her dress. Just make it a little bit bigger. But it's going to be really subtle. You might not even notice it too much. Now, when I was doing the session, what I should have done was I should have paid more attention to the dress. Like I should have had this flared out some more. But she's 5 and she doesn't take direction too well. So, so I kind of had to work fast. So what I'm going to do is pump out her hair too. Just fatten it up a little bit. Okay, the green barrette doesn't bother me, so that can stay. I have no intention of getting rid of that. So you hit OK once you're done. And there we go. Okay, so next what I need to do is I'm going to make a background copy. And I am going to make just a copy of her in her hands, and we're going to get rid of the ball, and that's going to get filled in with just I'm going to use the clone stamp. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the copy from here, and I just want her hands, so I'm holding down the Alt key to take this off. This can be a pain sometimes if it just doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So I do Control C, Control V, and I'm just going to turn this off for a minute, and I'm going to go back to my background copy and zoom out. And let's grab my clone stamp, and I'm going to start here. This is going to be covered up by the bear, so I'm not too concerned with it being sloppy. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put a layer mask on her right there, and I'm just going to clean it up now. So her layer mask is on. Just take that off. And for her hands, I'm going to grab a hard white brush, make this smaller, and fix it with this. It's starting to rain here. It's South Florida. We haven't had rain in a while, and now that we have rain, it's coming in like crazy. So I'm just going in and trying to fix this up as best as I can. Now, because her thumb is the way she has it posed is really weird, so I'm just going to take that off and see how that looks. Just like bring it down a little. I mean, because once it's zoomed out, it won't look. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to place the bear. Where do I have the bear? Right up here. Okay. Now this was from Dare to Dream Studios. Here. Make them bigger. Actually, I need to flip them. Put them on the same plane. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK after he's done. Now the only thing I want to do is go right back down here to my background copy, and I'm going to do a quick selection of some grass, and I'm going to put it right over him. Control C, Control V, and that's going to go above him. I'm going to bring the opacity down, and with a soft brush, I'll bring that opacity down too. I'm just going to start taking it off. Just so it looks more realistic that he's sitting in the grass. Okay, and on that grass layer, I'm going to grab my burn tool and just go over it with that. So let me zoom back in. And then I'll go on the bare layer and use the burn tool down here as well. And now I am back on her layer. And what I need to do, let me bring this down. So this is his layer with the burn tool. I go back to her now. Okay. So now what I want to get into is the light overlays that I use, and we'll use the bouquet, the snow. So the light overlays that I always use, it's from K1 Productions. And this is the one I used. So I'm going to drag this over here. So I'm just dragging this to fit across the canvas. And I'm going to change it to screen. And that opacity is going to come down. About 40% or 33% is okay. And actually what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hit Control and I'm going to grab these layers and I'm going to merge those. Okay. So what I want to add now is my gradient. A black gradient. I always change the location to 95. And it is going to be radial, reverse, that's good, and soft light, and so back to the light overlay, what I need is a soft white brush, and I'm just going to brush it off the bear. Brush a little bit off of them right here. And then on the gradient map, or the gradient layer, I'm brushing it off the subjects as well. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to come right back down here to the background, and I'm going to come right, so I'm going to click on this layer, and then I'm going to come right down here, and I'm going to do a gradient map. And actually, I take it back. Delete that. Make sure your colors over here are black and white, because that'll really help. Okay, now I can do my gradient map, and it's black and white, and this is how I want it to look. So I'm going to leave it right there. And then I'm going to duplicate my background, so I'm just going to drag that right there. And then this is my diffuse. Okay, so after I rename that diffuse, I'm going to go filter, stylize, diffuse. And you do want it on normal. No, I'm sorry, lighten. You want it on lighten. So you hit OK. And this you change to screen. And I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. So we'll leave it right there at 55. Or I'm sorry, 51. So I'm going to come right back over here to my background. I'm going to duplicate that again. I'm going to bring it right up here. I'm sorry, above the gradient map. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the blend mode to soft light. But I'm going to bring it down to about 35% is good. So I'm going to come right back here to my gradient map, and I'm just going to brush off the subjects. Okay, and I changed that opacity to 64% for the gradient map, and I'm going to come right down here to diffuse. I'm going to put a layer mask on there, and I'm going to brush off the subjects again on this one. Okay, so next I'm going to come right back up here to my background copy, and what I want to do is add a photo filter. So I'm going to come right down here, photo filter, and we're going to use cooling filter 80. And I'm going to bring that opacity down to about, keep it going a little, 30% is fine. And so now what I'm going to do is use my snow overlay. Now these snow overlays, I purchased from BP4U the snow overlay packs. There was one for, the deal that was going on was like over 1,400 layer or overlays for about 15 bucks, and I couldn't really pass that up. So I'm going to use one of their snows. And I'm going to grab this one and see how that looks. I might use 2 overlays in this one. So I'm going to drag it over. And I'm going to extend this across the entire canvas. And hit OK, and then my blend mode is going to go from normal to screen. And put a layer on that, and I'm just going to brush it off her face right here, his face. And then I need my Christmas bouquet lights. So I have this one here. This is from Elise Bear on Etsy. And it was a Christmas pack that I had purchased from her. and that is going to be screen. Put a layer mask on there, and I'm going to bring this down. That opacity is it's good at 40, 41. Okay, so there's a layer mask on there, and what I did, I just want it right here in the background on the tree, so I'm going to take it off of her. So really all across the bottom, I'm going to get rid of that, the foreground. I'm going to come back down to my background copy, and I'm going to do solid color and black, hit OK, and that is going to be soft light at 64%. 60, 59, 60, and I'm going to brush it off my subjects just because I wanted that a little bit darker. I'm going to brush some of the snow off of him too. And it looks like, oh, one more. So back down to the background layer, and I'm going to add a new layer, and this is going to be, I had mentioned before these star brushes that I have. And I know there's a site where you can get free brushes for Photoshop. And I have to, what I know I said it before in one of the other videos. Brush Easy, that's what it was. It was brusheasy.com. E-E-Z-Y for easy. So I like to use these, and because these are magical fantasy composites, I like to put these stars around there, like my kids call it magic dust. So it's magic dust that I'm putting around. And I put it on a separate layer, so here we go here, and I'm just gonna focusing, oh no, not that. Make sure you choose white. A white brush. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, and gotta be white. That's funny. Okay, so I'm going to just put this around here. The snow overlay, I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Okay, so back down here to my magic layer. And you can place this wherever you want. this looks good. I'm happy with it. I feel like they could still be a little bit darker. Maybe I'll bring this up some again. There we go. And let me check the diffuse. I write notes down so I can always go back and reference something. So diffuse is supposed to be screen, and I'm actually going to bring the opacity down. There we go. I'm going to keep it at 34%. And all of this looks good. Okay, the snow layer I'm going to keep at 75%. I think my star brush, I'm going to bring that up and let's put some around and see how that looks. Okay, cool. I think we are done. I like how it is. This definitely looks great when it's printed. I know I have this printed somewhere just as an 8x10. I would love to go bigger. And the kids love it. And it's Christmas. And next to patriotic Americana photos, Christmas is my favorite. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it and just have fun with it. And as always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.